Hello everyone, Jurassic Face-Off here, and today I will be showing you all the true power of Rexy, the queen of Jurassic Park and the true strongest dinosaur in the franchise. Now, let's begin. Starting off, we will go with size. Now, size estimates for Rexy have been all over the place over the years, but the ones that we currently find are between 8.4 to 9.2 tons. Although recently I found sources that claim that she's around 9.6 tons, and so we'll be using those. And as for her length, it can go from 40 to 44 feet long, which sounds about right. And now on for her strength and what she's capable of. Rexy is the strongest Rex in the franchise. Only one that can rival her or even match her is Ember from Rebirth. Continuing on that, Rexy has been able to push around theropods her size and larger, as she was easily able to pick up Indy, who is a 9-ton Indominus Rex, with ease, while being weakened and being able to be thrown into buildings, smashed around, thwarted, and slashed, and cut, and bitten, all while being not in her best shape, as Rexy was in a pretty tiny enclosure for something her size, as she is 9 tons and an animal of that size should have a much bigger enclosure. And yet even in those living conditions, she was still able to take that ass whooping and was still able to get back up when Blue came in and was distracting the Indom, and was still able to smash her into a building, and was constantly seen picking her up and throwing her about. And continuing else on that, then there's her fight with Zeb in Dominion. Zeb is stronger than Indy, as he is bigger at around 11 tons and 50 feet long. And it is consistently shown that he is picking on and shoving around at Rexy, and he has been seen biting down on her face and stomping on her head. Despite being heavier, Rexy was still seen getting right back up after getting 11 tons on her head repeatedly. And she still was able to take all that and get back up. As well as that, in the new Season 4 of K-Race Theory, she was able to go toe-to-toe up against Zeb yet again. She was able to land in some good bites on his tail and on his head. Despite being thrown around, she was still able to get right back up, and she continued to fight and was able to take the enduring beatings and severe maulings and bites and slashes and pushings. And even though she was beaten, she was still able to get up and leave, despite enduring punishment from what is arguably one of the strongest, if not the strongest, dinosaurs in all of Biosyn. And despite that original fight, in her first fight with Zeb, where she was tossed around and she had to walk away from him, later on, they fought yet again in the forest where the swamp is, and where Rexy was getting in some more hits and bites, like she was able to get her bite around his neck, and she was able to toss him around. This is all impressive considering that Zeb has been the strongest theropod in the franchise up until that point, and has consistently shown feats of being stronger than Rexy. And continuing else on that, in terms of speed, Rexy is very fast for a Tyrannosaur, and is the fastest Rex in all of the films and the franchise in general, as when she was 5 years old in the first film, she was seen being able to catch up to a car with ease. Later on, however, she obviously slowed down due to size and age wearing her down, as she wasn't able to quite catch up to Claire. However, this shouldn't be seen as her being super slow, as the Indominus, who is clearly faster and more agile, failed to catch up with the 2 kids. And in terms of intelligence, Rexy is very intelligent, as are all Tyrannosaurus Rexes in the films. She was smart enough to realize that Blue was coming in and was providing an opening for her to come in and attack the Indominus while the Indominus was distracted by Blue, and she took that opportunity while she saw it. She was also smart enough that in the first film, she was testing out the wires on the fence to make sure that they weren't going to electrocute her. And continuing else on intelligence, she was also able to see an opening where when Zeb was stuck in between her and the Therizinosaurus, she was smart enough to throw him into the Theris' claws, knowing that it would kill him instantly. And so she went for just that. This shows that Rexy is not only highly intelligent, but is also highly battle intelligent, as she is the most experienced of the big four theropods. And she also has the highest battle IQ, as she is consistently seen in taking in any weaknesses that she sees, and she will exploit them, whether it be with the Indom, the Raptors, or Zeb. And then there is onto her bite force. As a T-Rex, Rexy of course has a very powerful bite force, as all other Tyrannosaurs do. Her bite has consistently shown high regards and feats, and was seen being able to shove around and push an 11-ton Giganotosaurus into the closet of their Xenosaurus, and was also seen picking up an Indominus Rex with just her head alone. Keep in mind, the Indominus Rex is 9 tons, and Rexy was doing that with just her head, and was seen thrashing her around, which is all things considered very impressive. Now that we've gone over her strengths and abilities, we should pit her up against the other theropods. Firstly, Rexy will slaughter the rebirth Spinos with mid to low difficulty. Moving on, she would shred Snock from Camp Cretaceous and Jurassic Park 3. It really shouldn't be a debate, but yeah, Rexy would win. Rexy would win high diff with the Indominus Rex, aka Indy, but yeah, she would still win regardless. With Zeb, she would win with extreme difficulty. And then there's the fight between Rexy, Ember, and the D-Rex. Let's start off with Rexy versus Ember. Ember is clearly more physically stronger, and due to his bulk, that would also mean that he likely has a durability level on par with her or possibly exceeding her. But for now, we'll go with them being either equal or Rexy having higher durability. Rexy being smaller, that means she has faster speed and more maneuverability. Obviously, they have equal bite force, and they're most likely equal in intelligence, or Rexy takes it. And honestly, it would be a 50-50 match between the two of them, as it could go either way, with either one having a good shot of beating the other. Same with the Distortus Rex. Originally, I thought that Rexy would lose, but now since a commenter made a statement on how it's most likely a tie between Rexy and the D-Rex, I can see what they mean. So yeah, Rexy has taken a lot of punishment and would likely be able to endure the attacks from the D-Rex and the bites and the thwarting that she would endure. And she would most likely be able to outmaneuver the D-Rex and tire him out, and she would most likely be biting at his legs, his tail, and once he's all tired, she would most likely be able to bowl him over, and avoiding the arms would be able to go for the neck. Of course, the D-Rex will put up a fight due to his insane rage and his size, but ultimately speaking, and yeah, there you have it. Rexy is the strongest theropod dinosaur in the franchise, tied alongside Ember and the D-Rex. After all she's been through, Rexy has truly proven her worth as the biggest and strongest T-Rex in the franchise, and the one and only true queen of the dinosaurs, and the queen of Jurassic Park. Rexy wins.